course, we saw Delta Team and Koko versus Viper, Chetero, and Snowball. That was a 3-1 as well.
Oh, Yumiko, interesting. So, I mean, well, just put up enough signatures, nobody can really move. But this is actually, wait a minute. This is a really unique team lineup we're seeing from the blue team right now.
Fozey can definitely pick some weird ones from time to time. Like there was it the last 2v2? Yeah, I think it was the last 2v2 event when it was Fozey and Sarme. That swap to the legend's name eludes me. Bow, Gauntlets. I want to say Batonic because Batonic plays that legend as well. Why can I not think of the legend?
Why did you put me on the spot? we literally can remember nothing today.
Zario!
Okay, my God.
Thank you, Left Stick. Bro, there's so many names. I'm forgetting legend names now.
I'm done.
Because there's so many people on the screen.
Well, nobody's been done so far. Not a single stock loss. As I say that, right on cue, Bryn finds the mark, of course, over on Blitz. And Fozey going to fall immediately after that as well to Delta, who has been a real problem for everybody so far today.
Ooh, nice ground pound coming out from xJcoolJ. Is it xJcool or xJcoolJ? I swear it's
xJcool.
Okay, it's xJcoolJ.
It's xJcoolJ.
Yeah,
you never say the X. That's the cool part about the name.
Of course. You look like a fool if you do that.
Exactly. Are you saying Hunter X Hunter? No. Even though I do say that.
Yeah, a lot of people say Hunter X Hunter.
I do say that. But even game so far. I mean, to be completely honest, a big part of why I'm a little surprised, Fozey's incredible movement right now has actually been working so well. But the thing is that Delta has been such a nuisance to everybody's existence on screen. He covers so well, and you try to go challenge him, instantly pressured back off by, like we said before, Bryn's signature play just covers so much range. But a great side air from Fozey, who actually is on Bryn. I'm so stupid. And the Bryn coming in here for the blue team, get that coverage. That skin looks so much like Yumiko. I feel so dumb.
Oh,
I'm sorry, chat.
That's what you were thinking of.
Yeah, I got thrown off, very much so, at the start of the match. I've been cooked, okay?
I mean, it has the ears like you would if you were a fox, I think she is.
I guess,
I don't know,
yeah.
I'm not a lore nerd, sorry.
Somehow
I don't read.
Somehow I looked at that spear and said, yeah, that's a hammer. But blue team is very chunked on health, but they're still holding a small lead. I think for Blitz, like, you're the one who's in the most panic right now, but actually it's going to be xJcool who falls. Fozey just trying to find a landing, and, well, when you got double spear recovery staring you down, not many routes you can take.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of safe areas to return to. And they've been doing that a lot. It seems like the red team has had a lot of stacked moments. I don't really know what just happened from Delta over on the right side. Maybe we'll have to see the replay of that. It seemed like he just ended up falling.
We'll call that throwing for content.
Ah, okay, yeah. Interesting. It's okay to throw in game one. That's a possibility.
Like getting smacked up a bunch in center. Like you're saying, Axe has been so strong. A lot of double ups on like the same weapons have really been a big problem for people. Easy lineups. Right now, if you're Koko, you were hoping to recover. That route was almost amazing, and you had TM out there to try to help you, but it was not enough.
And because of that, we have a 2v2 here. Fozey and Blitz versus TM and Delta. Not the kind of lights-out performance that I would have expected from this French team coming here in game one against Blitz, xJcoolJ, and Fozey, who are coming into this tournament seed 7 compared to France's seed 2.
I mean, that's kind of what happened with game one with France before, too, or game two. It was one of them that they dropped. I think it was game 2, yeah, where the synergy didn't seem as lined up as before. But I think that's the thing with threes. It's like what happened with the Acno Blazes team, right? They ended up falling, but they would lose their first stocks every single game and brought it back after a while. I think we saw a very similar thing there with blue team. Running it right back to Big Miami Dome, though. I actually got a little bit surprised by that. We've seen a lot of starts on here, but almost immediately switched, usually right after.
I think this is sort of a nice middle ground stage because it has a lot of the boxes checked off in terms of like soft platforms. It's big enough so you don't feel too cramped, but those soft platforms are not gigantic like they are on Blackguard, so it doesn't give you a lot of room to just like play neutral around in that area. So it doesn't give those like retreat opportunities. Yo, take it off the top. Blitz just got blitzed.
How many times have we seen that lineup so far today from Delta into Koko? They go for the side air into the recovery or the neutral sync up top. You can't make a correct choice when you're in disguise against them. That's at least like the 6th one I've seen off that setup.
It's too good. It's too good, and it's been very consistent, which is something we haven't seen a lot of consistent setup options in 3v3.
which is kind of surprising me. That's the thing I expected to see the most today. But I think it's just been so chaotic with the pressure playing in like an actual bracket now with the money on the line. Usually when it's not, it's like, okay, we could go for some chaos. But that ground pound being such a good separator for Fozey, actually turning the advantage of the red team away from them as Delta just misses out on the follow-up from that recovery at the bottom.
Even though Blitz did fall so early, you see, keeping pace with TM, XJcoolJ is going to fall, so we now have 8 stocks to 7. Bro, I have to do the math every time. You'd think I would be smarter, but I'm not.
So, look, I have no rebuttal because I can't remember names today. I can't remember legends.
Dumbest commentary desk of all time in Brawlhalla history, brought to you by Ajax and Sparky878.
You can't come at us, or at least not at Sparky, because it's his birthday.
It's my birthday today.
It's
you
his
have
birthday.
To be nice to me.
Also, Koko almost getting a perfect, actually still gets it. Fozey couldn't make it back. So even though Delta fell in the midst of that, that one was a borrowed time stock anyways. He was already so deep in the red, and you were up 3. You could afford to go for that deep play, and it worked out and say, get Fozey.
So XJcoolJ is one of the lesser damaged players in this game. Now, before I started that sentence, he was in the orange compared to Blitz in the red, which is tough when you're in a 3v3 game and you're playing a lower defense legend. It's tough in 2s. That, of course, is even harder when you have 6 players on the screen at once.
Yeah, like it was right on cue, too. Like his defense was on point and then just started getting jumped, and right now it's going to be Blitz who finds TM slipping, but xJcool falls immediately after that. So the red team has revenge KO'd almost instantly each time since their early dominance, and they've had better lower edge guard plays. Like, I think that's been the biggest thing that the blue team, when they do go for something like right here, they go for the play, but there's nobody to back them up instantly. That's been their biggest problem so far.
I like that XJcoolJ went for the double D-Light because he had that as a true option. And it was built off of that right soft platform, so you're that much closer to the right blast zone. But, bro, trying to hit that in 3v3, you don't have the time to do that.
Yeah, and actually all of a sudden this isn't as bad. Like, they're pretty deep in the red, but if they could get rid of Koko, I am now going to change my sentence because Blitz has fallen, and looks like Fozey's going to fall soon as we see the ground pound come through. Yeah, well, that changed real fast.
XJcoolJ with the neutral signature over on the corner. Oh, and this time he goes in with the GC side signature. Almost made contact. It is going to be very tough because he's looking at 3 stocks, and now he has 0 in his pocket.
Yeah, that was checkmate right there. Like, once the, not only with Koko's positioning off stage, but the weapon toss forcing you to have to go high, instantly reactable coverage there from Delta. And if you miss that side air, you're still forced to have to dodge towards the stage. Delta only used the side air. He has plenty of other routes that he could take to cover you right after. But look at that. Like, the red team was always there to help with the double ups. So if somebody came at them, they could stop it. The blue team would go for a big play and then almost always get broken up.
Yep.
If they could get that cleaned up here in this next game, we could see some more sets played. But right now, it's the red team who looked much better by comparison to Game 1, seeing what we saw earlier in that, I believe, at the beginning of Top 16.
We do need to see TM step it up this game compared to last game. I think largely the reason that last game was so close is because TM did like 300 damage when all things were said and done. And then you compare that to the 6 KOs and the 2 KOs that the rest of his team got. That's 8 of the total 9 KOs, and he's not doing damage. So I think TM being taken out so early was the reason last game was as close as it was.
In the top 32 match as well, that was actually the same problem. TM would fall early quite a bit, as TM also on cue fell early in this match. So if the blue team recognizes again, TM is the one we need to jump, that's actually a huge knockout right now. And then another double up, that's going to be a perfectly safe. We were just talking about, I was just mentioning how blue team never gets their combos. Now they're not getting bothered at all as they get that amazing play on Delta, and they're up pretty solidly.
They ended up hitting their own teammate and getting the KO with it, though. So maybe bit off a little bit more than they could chew. That's what the Insig actually ended up making contact and getting the KO on the teammate, which isn't necessarily, like, I understand why you would do that in that moment. Maybe caught up a little bit in the moment, hoping that it wouldn't KO your teammate and would put damage onto the other team member. Like, that's certainly a normal thing we see, is a red team member and a blue team member caught up at the same time in a 2v1 team combo. Like, that's normal.
Okay, so apparently the answer was Fozey just needed to switch over to Wushang.
Okay.
Like, I think Fozey has every knockout, including one of his own teammates so far throughout this match. That, like, Fozey finally falling here, but he got 4 in exchange before he fell.
I mean, we've seen major clutch switches from Fozey that lead to incredible tournament performances. Again, I'll bring up him switching over to Zariel, whose name I remember this time.
As well. That was a very similar thing that happened in the last two's event. Like,
exactly.
So, actually, yeah, you're right. Sometimes Fozey's like, okay, I'm going to save my best for last. But right now, that best needs to show back up because the rest of your team is falling fast.
Yeah, all of a sudden that lead that was heavily in the blue team's favor has been shrunk a little bit, TM. Dude, TM, you gotta stop taking so much damage so quickly, brother.
TM currently being forced off stage, tries to go for reversal ground pound, but in the middle of that, though, Koko getting in center, separating them, lining up for Delta, but Delta really couldn't afford to do too much. He was kind of sandwiched between all of the blue team.
Delta, he's chasing down Blitz. He wants the KO. You're seeing the KO moves coming out. Side airs, all of the aerial moves, recoveries as well. Gets that KO.
xJcool had a perfect lineup there too, but Blitz getting caught in the midst of all that, and now it's going to be...
Oh, this is all of a sudden slipped
what
away.
What happened? Like, it was such a good lead that they had going. Fozey was popping up, and Fozey finds a ground pound right there, so...
TM can't catch a break. Even when they're this far in the lead, he's at weapon advantage. He's going to aggress onto Fozey in the edge guard and then get clapped up by a D-Light ground pound.
Unfortunately, like, the strongest member of the blue team fought the weakest member of the red team currently in this match at minimum, at least, and got the hands. So if Fozey can somehow put the hands on him, but I don't think you really have many that you could do. You would need that. You needed that ground pound to come through to force Delta's hand to try and go to like help. But at this point, you know, Koko's up a whole stock.
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter if he gets gimped.
Koko can totally burn so much right now. Nice dodge through that. Going to get the D-Light side air. Unfortunately, Fozey's only in the orange, so it's just going to lead into a possible edge guard that doesn't actually come to fruition as Fozey gets back onto the main platform.
Yeah, Fozey has to be careful. Yeah, I was about to say, anytime
nice follow-up.
That was a perfect punish. Anytime you commit to try and get a big play, Fozey looking for it right there. Easy whiff punish. The red team was always on point, and the worst part, it was the two people you didn't want to be right next to each other, because how many knockouts happened on the top? Perfect synergy from Delta and Koko. It happened again right there in center, and they're going to take it 3-0.
And it was so quick to find that recovery after, I think it was a down air that came out and was just like not the right move at the time. We'll see it in the replay here as these sort of wind down. But yeah, it was missing the down air. I can't remember if he ended up actually getting hit as well and then did the wake-up recovery, but great timing on it. We're going to see it come in right here. Oh, maybe I wasn't...